Hello class. Today we're doing Blue P2.5. Let's begin. Our problem reads, solve the system of linear equations using a table. Okay. When we use a table, we have our x, we have our first equation, then we have our next equation. And then we plug in our values. All right, usually we start with 0. That gives us an indication, okay, of where we want to go. So if we have 0, we plug in 0 for x here, our answer would be -3. We plug in 0 here, our answer is 10, okay? So if we're going to go positive, this number should move closer to 0, and this number should be moving closer to 0, okay? If we want to go negative, then this number should be moving. The whole point is the gap between these two numbers should be closing as we move in a positive or negative direction. So let's take a look. If we place a 1 here, then 1 times 0.5 minus 3 would give us a -2.5. Okay? If we put a 1 here, then a -6 plus 10 would give us a 4. So we're getting there, all right? The only problem is here we're only moving by a half of a step. All right, so let's move a little higher. Let's try 4. Okay, so instead of using odd, let's use an even number. Let's jump up to 4. Okay, see what happens. If we put a 4 here, 4 times a half, okay, will be a 2 minus 3 will give us a -1. Okay, we put a 4 here. 4 times -6 is going to be 24, and then -24 minus 10 is going to give us a -14. Well, we may have gone a little too far, okay? What happens if we make it 2? Let's see what happens. 2 times a half is going to give us 1, and 1 plus a -3 is going to give us a -2. 2 times -6 is going to give us a -12, and -12 plus 10 is going to give us a -2. So there we are, 2, -2, okay? That will be our solution for those ordered pairs, okay? Let's look at number 4. All right, y equals -2/5 x minus 2 3/5. So here we have an x and a y. I'm going to use 0, 1, -1. Okay? Here we have 0 times -2/5. That's going to leave us with a 2, a -2 3/5. If our x is 1, then that's going to leave us with a -2/5 minus 2 3/5. So when you put those together, that gives us a -3. If we use -1, that would make this 2/5 a +2/5 and a -2 3/5. And that will leave us with a -1. No, that will leave us with a -2 2/5. Okay. All right, let's see if we can use another number that'll give us a whole value. Okay. Let's go with a positive 2, okay? If we go with a positive 2, that'll give us a negative 2 and 2/5. And that's going to leave us with a 3/5. Need something that's going to eliminate that 3/5. Let's go with, I'm doing it mentally here. That's 2. We go with a 3. Let's go with a 4, negative 4. Yeah, let's go with a 4, okay? If we go with a negative 4, then that's going to be a positive 4 times this is going to be 8/5, and this is going to be 10, 13, negative 13/5, which is going to leave us with a negative 5/5, which will leave us with a 1. Okay? All right. Had to do some thinking there. So let's go. This is 0. We're not going to use 0. We want to use these whole values. So we're going to use a positive 1, negative 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to use a negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, positive 1. And then we're going to connect. Okay? All right, now let's use y equals 5x minus 8. If we make this 0, then we have a negative 8. Okay? If we make this negative 1, that'll give us a negative 5. That will be a negative 13. It's too large. Let's make it a positive 1. 1 times 5. That gives us a negative 3. So let's go there. Let's use these two numbers. Let's go a little smaller. Let's go with a positive 2. 2 times 5 will give us a 10, which would give us a 2 here. Okay, so we're going to go with these two numbers. We have a 1 and a negative 3. 1, 2, 3. Bingo. And then a 2, positive 2. 1, 2. Okay, so that when we graph, it looks like this, okay? And we know that here, 1, negative 3 is our solution, okay? Now let's look at number 6. Solve the system of linear equations algebraically, okay? We can make this equal, this is already equal to y. We can make this equal to y by taking x from both sides. Y is equal to 3 minus x. Now y is equal, we'll make the 2 equal to each other. X minus 7 is equal to 3 minus x, and then solve for x. Put an x here, so we have 2x minus 7 equals 3. Now 2x is equal to, in this case, 10, and divide both sides by 2, x is equal to 5. Okay, so in a case like this, 5 is our x. So if 5 is our x, when we redo our equation, we plug in 5 for our x, and y here is equal negative 2. Double check here, y plus x equals 3. Y plus 5 equals 3. We put 5 to the other side, which would be negative 5. That would be a negative 2. So therefore, those are our coordinates, 5, -2.